What in the world is this new law that is saving investors thousands of dollars in vacation rentals? Hey everyone, it's Lisa Moisen, your local real estate and investment expert, right here living life in Virginia Beach. If you've been thinking about buying an investment property or a short-term rental, maybe in Sandbridge or even at the ocean front of Virginia Beach, this video might save you tens of thousands of dollars in taxes in your very first year. Comment below or even text me and I will connect you with the best short-term rental options available right now in Virginia Beach and in Sandbridge. Let's talk about something you may have heard whispers about, the Big Beautiful Bill. The Big Beautiful Bill was a tax bill that was passed in 2025 that, among many things, did bring back one of the best tax incentives for real estate investors, 100% bonus depreciation. Before this bill, bonus depreciation was being phased out and it was dropping from 100% down to 40% and may have disappeared completely. But this new law restores 100% expensing for qualifying real estate for improvements, furniture, fixtures, and short-term rental assets. Now, of course, to close your time, remember, I am not a CPA, I'm not a tax expert. I'm simply sharing my understanding of this incentive so you can take this information and share it with your financial experts so you can determine if this is something that would work for you and be best for you. This could be a game changer for anyone buying, furnishing, or even renovating a vacation rental property that was purchased after January 19th, 2025. So when you buy a property or you furnish it, you typically have to depreciate the cost over a long period of time. So let's say you bought $50,000 worth of furniture and appliances for your beach rental. You can only write off a tiny piece of that each year. But with the bonus depreciation, you can actually write it all off in the first year. And that means massive tax deductions and potentially tens of thousands of dollars of savings right away. And that's cash in your pocket. You can reinvest, upgrade your property, or even use it to pay down your loan. And that's pretty significant. I really love that idea. Now, here's the part where you do need to pay attention because not every property or investor will qualify automatically. To get these benefits, you must place the property in service for rent after that January 19th, 2025, because that's when the law took effect. To get your best benefits, be actively involved in the management, meaning you handle the bookings, communicate with your guests, oversee maintenance, have some kind of direct involvement totaling roughly 100 plus hours per year, and have short stays, usually 7 days or less on average, or sometimes up to 30 days. But that's if you're providing a substantial service, and keep excellent records of your time, your expenses, and your property improvements. If you hire a property manager and want to have zero involvement, it's probably considered passive and you may not be able to use the deductions against your personal income, only your rental income, which is still valuable. But right now, for most investors, I would say it's worth being a little more hands-on, at least that first year, to capture the benefit. Beyond the bonus depreciation, the bill included other perks for investors. It made it the 20% qualified business income deduction permanent, and that's pretty significant. It means that you can deduct up to 20% of your rental profits if you operate as a business. And it increased the SALT deduction cap, meaning that you now can deduct up to $40,000 of state and local taxes instead of being stuck at $10,000. And it restored some of the interest deductions flexibility for investment properties, which means that you can write off more of your mortgage or your business interest. All of this makes owning investment real estate, especially short-term rentals, significantly more attractive from a tax standpoint. But of course, there's always a few caveats, right? So you might want to consider that there may be, when you sell the property, the IRS may recapture some of the depreciation of the tax income, and you just want to plan ahead for that. And you can only deduct losses up to the amount that you have invested or personally guaranteed. And documentation is key. You will need proof of receipts, cost segregation reports, and logs of the time spent managing the property. That's why I always recommend pairing your real estate investment strategy with a CPA that specializes in short-term rentals. They can run the numbers and help you maximize these incentives while still staying compliant. Here's another great idea I just had. What if you have been thinking about eventually retiring at the beach, but you're not ready? You might not be able to afford the purchase of a home right now because you're not quite ready and you're not ready for that added expense. But what if you were to buy an investment property at the beach, utilize the tax benefits, offset your cost of ownership until you are ready to retire? Here's the bottom line. The Big Beautiful Bill is an investor-friendly tax law. It rewards people who are creating housing, revitalizing communities, and running short-term rentals as actual businesses, not just as hobbies. If you've been thinking about buying a beach property or diversifying your investment in real estate, this is the window to do it in, because the moment that you close and you furnish and place that property in service for rent, your first year tax deductions could be massive. You're not just buying a vacation home, you're buying an income-producing asset that the government will help you pay for through accelerated tax write-offs. And if you're looking right here in Virginia Beach, whether it's Sandbridge or the Virginia Beach ocean front, this is exactly what I help my clients do every single day. I help them find high-performing short-term rentals. And remember, outside of Sandbridge, there are approved STR areas, but you can't just rent everywhere. So I will help you determine those areas and what the requirements are. I also help you break down the rental income and the ROI projections, and we can run the numbers together, property by property, and I will help you build a portfolio that works smarter, not harder. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know that tax talk isn't always the most exciting, but this one really does matter for anyone that is investing in real estate. I'm Lisa Moisen with the Atlantic Sotheby's International Realty right here in Virginia Beach. And if you found this helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living Life in Virginia Beach, and share it with anyone that you know who's thinking about investing in a short-term rental. And remember, smart investing starts with understanding the numbers. I will see you next time, and maybe I'll just see you down here checking out your next investment. But until then, be blessed.